4 years ago, I moved to Italy for a year. I didn't like Europe too much because it's like cold. I don't really like cold. Since 15 years old, I was just interested in this field. I did first graphic design. I started with just doing some Photoshop gigs, and then I moved into branding. Then I moved into web design, UI, UX, to show quickly how you can create all of these websites that you can see here with AI. So like all of these animated backgrounds and with this beautiful typography that is not typical for AI websites, how you can create all of these stuff that looks really cool. Didn't design everything like going to Figma and directly doing stuff with my hands. I didn't do any of that. Thank you, it was fun.
Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Now Next. In this episode, I'm going to talk with Viktor, designer and the founder of Design Rocket. He walked me through his story, he explained me how he became a designer, then we talked about his business and how he is using AI to create web pages and websites for the clients, and he showed me how you can use AI practically to create web pages with a stunning motion graphic. Enjoy watching and listening to this episode.
Yeah, I've been living here for almost 2 years on and off. I'm traveling around Asia and I love it.
I'm into East Asia as well. Like I like the culture in, Asia, the food especially. And I've been there also for a couple of times. I've been in Thailand, in China, and a couple of other regions. I love it. The weather is very nice. How it comes that you are there? You said you are from Italy originally, right?
And originally from Ukraine, but I left Ukraine like 4 years ago. I moved to Italy for a year. I didn't like Europe too much because it's like cold. I don't really like cold. So I just after that, I moved to Thailand, then a little bit of China, Vietnam, Bali, just traveling here, enjoying the warm weather.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's my kind of dream life, to travel and live anywhere that I want. But what do you do with your work?
I am a designer primarily. My background is in design, and I used to work with American clients, so it was a little bit difficult to go on calls at midnight. But now I work without calls. If I work with clients, I try to do it async. But most of my work now is not related to client work, so it's a little bit easier.
I guess the only disadvantage working in East Asia, like the time gap between the main markets that you might work with and the time zone in the East Asia. But other than that, I guess everything is nice. And what do you like in particular from Asia, about Asia?
I guess it's just the culture here. Like I lived in Europe and like everything is closing after 6 p.m. The service industry is not very developed. And here's like you can go to, I don't know, gym at 31st December before the new year and it's going to be open. So it's like the service industry. Also like the people are so much like smiley, more like friendly, in my opinion, from what I can see here.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, great. Again, dream life of mine you are living. I hope you enjoy it. So maybe Victor, let's start a little bit from your background. I would like to know a little bit more about you. If you can introduce yourself to audience very quickly, it would be nice. You already said that you are a designer and you come from Ukraine, but would be good to hear from you one more time.
No, I've been into design for the past 10 years. Since 15 years old, I was just interested in this field. And so basically that's what I do. I did first graphic design. I started with just doing some Photoshop gigs, and then I moved into branding. Then I moved into web design, UI, UX. So just basically, I always wanted to do something related with creative stuff. So that's why I moved into a design initially and then product design. So like, for example, from all of the things I did, like mobile websites, apps, graphics, I do enjoy most the product design. So building products that people will use, not just like logos or landing pages. That's that.
So what is exactly the thing that kind of make you like it the most? Like just because the people are using it? So you like to help the people, or?
I think what I've noticed is I just liked creating stuff for people to use. Yeah, like I mean, So the reason that I started doing design is I created like when I was like 16 or 15, just like communities around games, and I pretended that I built a new game. I just created designs in Photoshop, and like I said, like here we're building this new game, and I like building the communities, and I just like I didn't have, of course, neither money nor developing skills to actually build that game, but I like creating designs, like showing people what can be possible, and yeah, this was just a good example that the community, what you're building, is more important than what actually is can you build at that
Yeah,
time.
totally agree with that as well. Do you have access to the things that you have done, those concepts for the games that you made, like back in the time?
Um,
Just
it,
curious.
I posted it in VK. It's like a Russian social media, Russian Facebook. So it was like I don't have access to that since the war in Ukraine. They kind of blocked the thing, so I cannot access them now. But it was like a community of around 8,000 people at that time. 10 years ago, it was pretty large. So um, I I think that that's the reason that I'm keep building the stuff that I'm doing. Yeah.
Great. And that was not the first professional work and project that you worked on. Do you remember the first professional? Like, I don't know how you define the professional work, but do you remember that one? Like, which project
Yeah,
was it?
so it was around that time, around 10 years ago, when I built the designs for games. Some people noticed that and they asked, like, can you do the same for us? And maybe you know this game Agario, like there is some skins. I did banners for them, and I think that yeah, that's just like small design stuff. They saw it, they asked me, they paid for it, and it really motivated me to do to do what I do today.
Oh, that's cool. So you basically started within the gaming industry.
Yeah, because I was kid at that time, and that's what I did, like just designs for games and stuff like that.
You said you started your basically career when you were 15. So no university education for finding the work that you like. Is that right?
I do not believe in university. I do not believe in the colleges. So no, not. I don't think that there is anything good in in Ukraine where I live to something that could benefit me. So no, I didn't go to university for that. I did go to college for some engineering stuff, but it was totally unrelated. And yeah.
Like, what helped you to find basically your professional job? I know basically your curiosity and your interest into creating design within the Photoshop for games were the basically connection between your interest and the first job that you have found. But is there any other parameter that you feel like helped you to get developed within your career journey?
I think just the ability to work for free. So whenever I started, I worked, not for free, but I worked for really cheap salary for like 6 months just to learn. So I think if you can work either for free or if you can put your standards down for a time while you're learning, then um, I mean, you always, of course, you want to earn a lot and you want to be paid for that. But I think that I would rather learn and get paid something than learn and not know whether I learn it or and just not get paid or yeah. And yeah, so I was working in design agency and I was earning $500 a month for 6 months, but I learned a lot at that time, and yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Like, money is not everything, especially at the beginning. Like, if yeah, of course there should be a balance between your salary expectations and the other parameters that are important in finding a job. And at the beginning, as you said, I believe there are more that you need to consider in finding a job. Not only the salary is the only parameter that is important. Totally agree. So, what do you do today? Like, you are a designer, as you mentioned. You started from graphic design, game industry, then you went to the agency, I guess branding and graphic design again. And now I know that you might do also a little bit motion graphic design. Is that right? Like, you are into motion design?
I primarily do it with AI, basically just animating images, so it's not like I'm doing the motion graphics. But I did started doing motion because it's like the only way to make your product premium, whether it's a website or mobile app, just without any like skills. Just add a video or add some premium animation to it, and it will like 10x your website, your Twitter posts, whatever you're doing. And yeah, that's what I just like. For example, if you put animated background on your website, it will like few x your website quality just by doing that. Or for another example, it's like instead of posting a picture on Twitter, just like add some noise effect and make it a GIF or a video, and it will double your exposure just by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So if it was an AI, then you wouldn't most probably start this area. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that AI does help, but still it doesn't require like anything complicated, turning a picture into a video. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty easy to do now with recording tools like CleanShot or Screen Studio. It's pretty cool. You can just record your screen and it will add some effects to it. Yeah.
I'm very kind of excited to see in person what you do with AI to create cool and stunning background videos for web pages. I saw a lot of examples, and I would like to also today to show to our audience how that things works. Victor, you also have a social network activity, am I right? Like your X is pretty active, I would say. Do you have also a YouTube?
Yeah, I think YouTube is my primary social media. I started it 2 years ago, and Twitter is like more or less a year ago. So yeah, I think that Twitter does. I think making social media account was the biggest improvement in my work as a whole thing. So yeah, for example, like starting Twitter just like doubled my income after 3 months of
Twitter.
starting Twitter. Yeah, Twitter X.
How did it help you?
Like it's just first of all, I got more leads from Twitter, so that's one thing. And another thing is that it's just give me audience that I can see what they like, what they don't like, and then I can create products, and then I can help them. And if you help enough people, if you give enough value for free, like I do, I give a lot of stuff away for free on Twitter, like any designs, prompts, and people will support you, people will like your comments, repost, and yeah, that's how it works.
What made you to start having social network activities like for the first time 2 years ago? What happened that you said, hey, I want to go online?
I think it's just the desire to share something with other people, not just keeping everything for yourself. So the YouTube, I was just sharing what I do on and just recording tutorials how I build stuff. And I think that's just understanding that you can leave something for other people. And I think that it's not only for myself. It's like it's going to help me, of course, but it's going to help other people. For example, making a video on YouTube how I build a website might help other people to learn how to make the same beautiful animated website AI. But it also helped me to learn how to do better tutorials, how to keep engagement on people, how to create thumbnails, how to make people click on it. So I think that's works for everybody.
As you mentioned, I guess it's, at some point you feel like if you want to get more from the community, you need to give also more to community. And that's a very, very important point. If you want to mention one mistake that you have done in your career path, what would that be?
Yeah, I think just starting to work on the projects that I don't really like. So there was a project like because whenever you work on a project that you don't like, you either get a lot of stress because the client don't like your result, or you work through stress and the result is not that good. And I had to do like a lot of money in refunds after like a few weeks of work, just because I didn't want to continue to work on this project. And at the beginning of the project, I kind of understood that it's not the best one. The client was not really good. So and just like yeah, that was a big mistake. That
Yeah. So how do you avoid it to happen?
now I think just working with different clients teaches you what works. I work with international clients, and I think that finding clients that you really vibe with and like as a people as well, and can help you. So I used to work with Ukrainian clients. I used to work with some people from Europe, and I don't really like to work with those. I do primarily like to work with clients from America. Those clients tend to value the design itself, like it's a lot more valuable than for people from, let's say, Ukraine or some European countries, in my opinion.
Are you working as a freelancer, or you already have your own team and company?
I do work as with my team. So yeah, we have an agency, and there are some developers, designers, and I try to not do any of the freelance work and none of the management work, since that's actually very stressful to run an agency. I think that with AI, like you can work primarily as a solo designer and build everything by yourself. So yeah, I just delegate all of those stuff.
Great, great. So I would say maybe we can have a very short break. It's been already 16 minutes. Then we can get back again. So we will be right back. So we are back. As I said at the beginning, I'm very excited to see what you're going to show me today in this part. It's going to be practical. So for anybody who is just listening to us, I really recommend to get back to our channels and watch the video version as well. It's very, very, I guess, going to be exciting and interesting. Viktor, you said that making motion graphics videos and adding it to the web pages is going to have a huge impact on the user experience as well. And I guess that's going to be the focus of this part, how you do or how you basically create your motion graphics and boost the quality of web pages that you are making. So go ahead and show us a couple of tricks.
Cool. So I'll share my screen here. Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to show quickly how you can create all of these websites that you can see here with AI. So like all of these animated backgrounds and with this beautiful typography that is not typical for AI websites, how you can create all of these stuff that looks really cool in terms of animations, in terms of the layout, also they are mobile responsive. So if I go, for example, this website that is also built with AI, you can see that everything works perfectly on mobile, works perfectly on desktop. And everything here was built just by me typing words. So I didn't like ask to just, didn't design everything like going to Figma and directly doing stuff with my hands. I didn't do any of that. It's just few prompts and few workflows that I wanted to share with you today. And you can create these beautiful animated websites all using AI. So yeah, but of course, AI is not there at the point where you can just say, create me a beautiful website, and it will not generate you this result. So if you would just go to Lovable, and if you type build me a beautiful website, this is the result that you would receive. So as you can see, I just typed that, and this is the result. So this website is pretty standard. It's not something special. We have too large line height. The background is pretty empty. So this website is not considered good, in my opinion, as a designer. And this is what a lot of people do. They try to prompt AI to build them something good. And this is not how it works. You cannot prompt AI to build something good. The step above that is going to Pinterest and finding some nice designs. Like here I am on Pinterest. I just typed tier section and I found this design. And when I copy this and I go to AI and I try to prompt it, this is the result that it creates. So you see we missed the shadows are off, the fonts are off. This is using some random fonts. Unlike here, we have some beautiful like cards. This is navbar, and here it's a little bit off in terms of how it positioned, but it's already one step above just typing word. If you want to go even further than that, then there's libraries of components like 21st Dev or another one. You can just go to select the component that you want. You can go and it will give you the access to the images. It will give you access to the fonts. It will give you access to the colors as well. So you can just go here and copy. Of course, I know a lot of you know that. And just go and paste that here and you will get the same result, but there is nothing special about these designs. Like this hero section looks pretty boring. So what I like to do is I like to create a prompt libraries. So there's another prompt libraries called motionsites.ai, and here you can basically just find a website that has good design in terms of the animations, and you can just copy this for free. You click copy and it will give you access to this fonts, it will give you access to the background video, and you can just paste that into the AI and you will get the same absolute result that you get from there. And there is nothing special about this. This will just implement the video from the link. It will just implement all of the fonts that are already existing in the prompt, and you will get this animated results for your website just like that. And this is the only way in.
I did not get the thing that if when you go to the motion side, when you copy one of the designs, you basically copy the lovable template or you copy the prompt.
No, you just copy the prompt. So here how it looks like, and you can paste into Lovable, you can paste into Cursor, you can paste into any app, and it will build absolutely the same stunning websites. And I mean, this is how everybody should work, not just giving it pictures or giving images, because you cannot recreate animated stuff just from giving it a picture. It cannot create, you cannot find this font just from pictures because it's everything written here in the prompt. And then you can just post it on Twitter, because building beautiful stuff is one thing, but if you wanted to get clients, you need to post it on Twitter. And there is a simple trick to do that to get consistently a lot of likes. And this is, it's just providing a prompt. Basically, this hook is everything that makes people click on it, then expand it, then I can see the prompt, and then you can give a link to your booking page so the client book a call with you, and it's basically can be a booking call, and this can be the prompt. And the way that you get the prompt is you would just ask AI to give me the exact prompt, and it will just, so the prompt will be give me the detailed prompt to recreate this hero section exactly as this is, including all the colors, the LMS, the CSS, the style, and stuff like that. And then you just get the prompt, you post it on social media, you record your screen using any recording screen tool. I use CleanShot, not affiliated with them, but just record a screen, and just like that, you can post on social media. You can paste the prompt, and you can mention a company. Like if you build it with Bolt, they will most likely repost it. So if I go to a lot of you, I'm sure know Bolt. But for example, like if you just create a design and if you mention them here, they will, because it's free marketing for them. So as you can see, I just created a website using Bolt, and they just reposted it, and it gave me a free exposure. And also you can include the prompt, and this is how you can grow your Twitter account. You can get your first exposure. You can also tag me. So if you go on Twitter, if you create something using my prompt, you can tag me like this guy, and I will also repost your post and give you free exposure as well.
That was nice. Nice advices for doing marketing strategy. So great. Just a couple of questions. How do you handle basically the custom fonts and in general the videos and the assets within the prompt? Like you should have basically the assets somewhere online in a cloud and then refer to them as a link in your prompt, or how does that work? Like for example, if I have a custom font.
Yeah, so all of these assets, like videos, are hosted on a website called mugs.com. They have a good pricing. I like that. So I can host all of my videos here, and I can just include the link, and AI knows how to do it, how to make sure that it displays correctly on all of the browser, on mobile phones, like that. So for the phones, it's just Google phones most of the time. You just ask AI to import the Google font, just give it a specific name, and it will access to that. For the elements like liquid glass, everything is written in the prompt. So as you can see, for the fonts here, we have import Google font, instrumental serif. For the background, we have also liquid glass. It's all described here. But normally it's just not like just normal code. It mostly like a prompt, text prompt that you can paste into any AI or build it yourself if you want so.
So I will leave the link to Motion Site in the description of this episode as well for anybody who want to take a look and experience the prompts themselves. Just go ahead and give it a try. Viktor, amazing. Can you maybe tell me a little bit about your experience making the motion graphics themselves or the videos? What tools are you using for those?
So primarily it's starting with Pinterest, but in this way, we're going to just find some nice images and then move that to Nano Banana to create those images and then animate those using Kling. It's all optional. You can use Midjourney and you can use VO3, but for me, I think that Nano Banana is one of the best ones in terms of creating backgrounds for the websites. So for example, I find a hero section that I like. Obviously, I don't want to just copy everything. So I would just want to copy the background because I like the background. I would just take a screenshot. And as you can see, it is a low quality. It has some icons. It has some text. So I would just go to Nano Banana. I'm going to go to Hexfield, but you can go directly to Nano Banana because Hexfield is pretty expensive and I do not really recommend this to use, not affiliated with them. And the prompt to recreate the background, as you can see, I already did it here. It's very simple. Just create me an image like this in 8K, but remove the text, buttons, any logos, just want the text. So there is not any magic included here. That's very just what you would tell another junior designers to do. And I would select Nano Banana 2, 4K quality, and all of this you would specify to Nano Banana, and then I would just click generate. And as a result, I would receive a background just like this, without any text, without any other elements. And then I can just download that and go directly to Kling. Let's say I wanted to make animation of this element while that generating. I would just click animate, or in your case, you can just go directly to a Kling website. That would be cheaper. And for the prompt, again, it can be very simple. Just animate this. If you wanted to have looped, you would add an end frame as well. And like sometimes you would get a good result like this one. You can see that we have this beautiful animation of this girl from the image, and the prompt is also simple. Animate this to rings moving circles around the girl. So yeah, it's pretty standard, no magic. It's just all about the reference. Like if I didn't provide this image as a reference, it would never create animation like this. If I didn't provide the reference for any of these websites that you can see here, it would not be able to create that.
Great. Thank you very much. That was amazing to see how you're doing this stuff. One more point I would like to ask to see, based on your experience, how you deal with this stuff is if you have any, let's say, automated pipeline for creating all these materials and web pages when you're working on a real project, or every step is for now has been done manually by you.
Yeah, I think now it's manual, and that's actually a big problem because, of course, I would like to just have a website from Pinterest and just give it to the AI and says, build me a website, but for my client using this as inspiration. Unfortunately, this doesn't work like that. So everything is done with AI, but it's done manually just by guiding it, giving instructions, as you can see with all of the processes that I'm doing. But it's very easy. It's just one prompt, and then you can ask AI to change the logo for the client's logo and send the logo, and also rewrite all of the text on the page to be about now and next podcast. And it will create you a new sections. It will build you a new section for that podcast. It will rewrite all of the text, and you can also, of course, customize all of it to have for your own project.
It's amazing. It's so quick, so fast, and the quality is very, let's say, reliable.
Yeah.
Do you remember before like the AI technology gets something that we have today? How used to be the life of like your working, let's say, methods to create such a thing?
It all used to live in Figma inside here, so I would go here and I would build every design elements by myself, like writing copy, doing a lot of interactions and stuff like that, creating the sections, and it used to take a lot of times, a lot of iterations to build something like this, a lot of energy spent on that, and then you have to build that in Webflow or Framer, and I worked like 3 or 4 years building websites in Framer, in Webflow for clients, and it was just long process. Like if the client want to add a new page, you would need to go to Figma, you would need to create and design a new page, and you would need to build that in Webflow. But what we can do in Lovable is I can say, based on the styles that you can see on this page, build me a About Us page and include 5 to 6 sections, include the same kind of style animations that we have right now, and same liquid glass and stuff like that. And it will build in a matter of minutes a new sections, new page, and a new product. It applies also to actual products and not just like static websites like that.
That was amazing. Thank you for walking me through all these steps. Indeed, it's kind of interesting to see how you integrated AI within your working flow and creating amazing web pages. I would say maybe let's have a very quick, short break and come back again with the next step, which I have already a lot of questions to ask from you. So I will be right back. So, Viktor, when you were showing me how you work nowadays with AI and using other platforms like Bolt and Lovable, and when I asked you to explain me how you used to work before, you showed me that you used to use Figma and then use Webflow or Framer to create the final product for your client. Now, I would like to ask you if that means that you are not using Figma anymore, and if you think that these tools like Figma or Webflow is dead or not, because you can read this text, Figma is dead, so often in the social network. I want to know if you think that's a clickbait or it's really dead.
I think that Webflow is definitely not something that I would see myself using in the future, but I do use Figma a lot, and I believe that Figma will be one of the biggest companies in AI in a couple of years. I've been paid subscriber to Figma AI plan for past like 6 months, and I think this is the best $20 I spent by far. For example, I can share my quick screen and I can share what $20 spent on Figma give you and how I use it to actually help clients. So just by having a paid subscription on Figma, you get access to, first of all, you can invite all of your clients here and you can give them rights to edit, but that's like usual stuff. But also it gives you the access to removing backgrounds. It gives you access to generating new images using Nano Banana. So if I want to expand this image, I would just click it and drag it like this, click AI and click expand, and then just click on expand. It would actually expand me the image. So all of these AI features is very good stuff, but most of what I like is actually Figma Make, is Figma's AI feature that actually allows you to create websites, create apps using AI. So for example, you can first create it using code, and then you can actually click on this little icon here that will just bring the whole design into your own Figma, where you can start editing it and you can start adding some new stuff to it. So let me just quickly add it here. As you can see, I can just add it and it's all editable. I can expand it. I can create very quick designs that I can just share with my clients. So I do believe Figma will be big in the AI field, but I don't think that drag and drop tools like Framer or Webflow would be used in the future just because it's so tedious. I just showed you how quickly we can create a About Us page using Lovable, and creating About Us page using Framer would take you like at least a couple of hours to do that. But here we can just add animations, add some pictures, but the structure, everything is already pre-built using the same liquid glass styles that we already specified, using the same fonts and stuff like that.
So it's also bringing me to the next topic. How do you handle your business in terms of your relationship with the clients? I'm just asking this because when things are not that technical anymore in terms of execution, so you don't rely on heavy knowledge about how to use the tools and whatsoever, how do you convey this message to the client that the tools are not everything and we are not there just basically to execute what you have in mind, but we are there for consulting you. What is your technique and how you handle your business plan or monetization plan?
Yeah, so I am building websites using Lovable primarily if I work with the clients, and I actually made more than 90,000 on Upwork building AI websites on Upwork. So I do know a lot about how to find clients, how to make sure that they understand what they're getting with AI tools. But I think that even if the client, there are some clients, like I think 4 out of 10 clients still would want to use Webflow, and then you can just build it in Figma, build it with AI, and then just hire someone to rebuild it in Webflow just for like a couple $100, which is pretty cheap because like rebuilding stuff is nothing complicated, but actually creating all of those first initial drafts is what matters, and you can all do that all with AI.
But my main question is that your clients, like how you monetize your effort, is that is still time based, or how you negotiate your monetization plan with your client? Because again, now many agencies is still stick with the time based pricing model, meaning that they're basically selling the time they spend on a project, and this lead to some sort of a paradox when you are using AI, because then you need to be faster, you are faster, and you spend less time. Then you need to be cheaper at the end, for the client. And clients are asking this, like, AI is doing everything. So kind of it's a it's very, very controversial topic when it comes to negotiating with the client on the price when you're using AI. So I wonder how you deal with this topic, like how you still maintain your price while you're using AI and being more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, on Upwork, whenever you apply on the job, the client already gives a estimate of the price. So I get most of my clients from Upwork in the past. Now I don't really work with too much clients, but when I did, the client already set a ballpark. So if I don't really like the price, I can see that the client's looking for someone who will do the job for $100, for $200. I would just not apply. I would just look for jobs like starting from $2,000, $3,000, and then I would apply to those jobs. And then based on that, based on that anchor, I can say here, hey, here's this is gonna cost this landing page is gonna cost $4,000, and then we're just gonna discuss that, and yeah, that's gonna how it's gonna move forward. We're gonna get on a call.
Yeah, let's maybe focus a little bit on AI again. I mean, of course, all the episode was about the AI and how you are using today. But now my question is, how do you see the future? Are you living the future already, or you think things that are gonna change dramatically?
Yeah, I think technology is going to evolve way more in the quality of the output we're getting. So, right now, you need to be a creative director, as I showed you before. You need to give everything to the AI to get a good output. But I believe as AI progresses and the output improves, it's going to become so good that you will not distinguish it from a good, like, I mean, photographer or from a good web designer. It's just going to learn from all of those stuff. And I mean, society is going to accept that, and all these people who call AI slop are going to start using it because it's going to be so much better than what they could have created by themselves. And I think that clients will learn how to pay for it. Economy is going to shift as well to value AI work, and we're going to see that it's going to be paid good. Yeah.
When you're talking about the feature, I noticed that you emphasize on using AI. I wonder if do you imagine also a future that AI is replacing us, or not at all?
I don't think that it's gonna happen like that. We're gonna not have jobs because everything, as we all know, that everything that is get replaced, we get something new. So if some jobs we're going to replace, we're going to get some new jobs. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about me learning all of these AI tools and staying at the top of the game, knowing how to use them. Even if they're improving, I still want to be on top of that. So if even the time comes when the AI starts replacing some jobs, I know how to leverage that, and I'll be able to sell that or work with clients on that stuff.
And I assume that's all we can do at the moment, like just stay informed, try to train ourselves to be up to date and never get outdated. Just saying this, how do you keep yourself up to date? How do you prepare yourself for the future that is coming for us?
I do, since I'm making YouTube videos and I need to stay on trends, what's working right now. So I tried a lot of stuff, maybe 1 or 2 AI tools a day, but a lot of those is just hype. But once a month, you do get something that really cool, and then you're gonna use it. Then you're gonna learn it and apply it in your life. So just try to use as many tools as you can. I recently tried OpenClaw, and I think that has a lot of potential if you learn how to apply that. So just try everything that's trending. Not everything's going to apply to your life, but what does, just try to use it, try to incorporate your life. And like, for example, I think that Lovable was the biggest shift for me when I tried it, and I use it still after 2 years. And I'm sure there's going to be many more tools that I'm going to try and I'm going to love and I'm going to use.
Which resources are you using to find these tools? You said you are using maybe 1 or 2, or try 1 or 2 tools per day, or let's say per week. Where do you find all those tools?
I think on Twitter, there's everything that is good is going to be trending on Twitter. So when you go to Twitter and you like some stuff related to technology, related to design, you will get a lot of different suggestions, like all of the apps that's launching, you can see, and there is a lot of good stuff there. So just register on Twitter, try to grow your account, and see what's happening there.
And maybe one more thing, if you want to tell to the people who are going to start today their basically career journey, to learn something, or if you want to give one advice, or if you want to say one recommendation to have a
Learn
basically successful career path.
Yeah, leverage all the resources that are available. Do not start from scratch. Do not learn HTML or CSS if you want to be a front-end developer. Just use AI and earn money as soon as possible, and then you can develop your skills. Start with earning money, and then you can deepen your skills. Just do everything with AI, and then you can grow, earn money, and then, yeah.
And one thing that you think they should not do?
Do everything old way. So if you want to still use Figma, use it, but learn how to use AI tools. That's very important in this way. Do not do Framer, do not do Webflow if the client is absolutely not 100% want to use this.
That does make sense. So, Viktor, usually at the end of the episode, I ask my guests to share their experience about Now Next. Like, what do you think about Now and Next? What can get better? And now we are at the end of this episode. Of course, I can talk with you further and ask a lot about what you do, how you deal with your projects. But I guess the time is up for this episode. And therefore, I would like to ask you as well, how was Now Next for you? And if you want to change something to make the show better, what would that be?
I think I liked this part, but I saw your other videos and most of them are just like talking camera. Nobody do people share their screen and go through like tutorials and stuff?
They do, but it depends on if they want to or not. So I usually recommend them to come up with showing me some use cases, or basically try to teach me something. I want to go toward that direction, that like you come and talk with your friend and or a colleague, and you want to teach something to him. So go ahead and share your screen and show me something.
Yeah, I think that's the good part if you just do that a little bit more. So if you find a specialist in, like, let's say animations, and he just shares all of his tricks on how to build an animation from start to finish, and this would be really interesting for people to watch, just like a real use case, because the podcast is not really too big, so people are not maybe interested in listening to me, for example. But like, if they want to, they can see what I'm doing and they can learn from that. I think that can be valuable for them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a very nice feedback. Actually, I'm working on it. I would like to increase the importance, or emphasize more on the practical part. I believe in giving value to people who are basically spending their time to listen and watch Now Next. And as last question, if you want to bring a name of someone who you want to see in Now Next, or if you want to invite someone in Now Next, who would that be? You can also give me name now, or later, if you remember, you can give me further names. I will try to reach out to people you tell me.
Yeah, I think I don't have it at the top of my head, but I can definitely send you some great designers that would like to do this. Yeah.
Okay, great. Then I'm looking forward for hearing that. And for the people who want to know more about you and get in touch with you, which channels are you going to basically introduce? Or do you have any channels that you want to share here?
Yeah, I think Twitter, just Viktor Oddy on Twitter, and on YouTube as well, Viktor Oddy, and that would be it.
Great, great. Any last words, Viktor?
No, thank you. Thank you. It was fun.
Pleasure to have you here, Viktor, in Now Next. Thanks for watching and listening to us. And don't forget to smash the like button and share your opinion out in the comment section. These are 2 ways that you can support Now Next and me in particular. And plus, I'm looking forward to hear your opinion about the episodes that we already published. So get sure to write down your thought and opinion in the comment section. I'm definitely going through all of them. And beside that, don't forget to subscribe to our channels, no matter in which platform you are listening or watching to us. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.